Hey everybody, welcome back. In today's video we're going to have a look at Rune. Now for those of you that don't know, Rune is the native token for the Thorchain network. And Thorchain is basically a decentralized exchange where you can send your Bitcoin and trade it for ethereum, AVAX, whatever. A lot of layer 1s basically. It focuses on layer 1 exchange. You can swap it for Doge, Sol, whatever. I think maybe you might not be able to swap it for Sol. But anyway. So it's an exchange that's done pretty well. It came in last bull run just before and obviously did very well. We're obviously down at pretty poor prices at the moment, but as we can see, last few days it's gone parabolic. And if we actually check, it's gone up like 10% each day. Yeah, we're about 57% of a pump, 58 over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. So over the last week we've done 60%, which is not bad at all. And a lot of you might be asking, where has this pump come from? Well, basically, Thorchain provides a lot of liquidity pools. So if you want to go swap your Ethereum for Bitcoin, Thorchain will set up a liquidity pool on, say, Ethereum. And what you'll actually do is you'll send your Ethereum and you'll get Bitcoin, but not necessarily Bitcoin that's on the Bitcoin network, but on the Ethereum network, like wrapped Bitcoin. Or you might get BTC Rune, if you get me, instead of just BTC. And what they've basically announced here is that they're going to start winding down these IOU tokens, and they're going to launch a copy of what everyone has in their wallets on this new Thorchain blockchain that they run. So all these liquidity pools can now be held on the Rune blockchain, the Thorchain blockchain, instead of on Ethereum or on Binance. Instead of it being a ERC20 token, it's now a Rune chain token. It's on their network. So this is very bullish news basically for the DEX, and it just shows that they have been building and they've got a solid team behind them, and even though it's been in a bear market for a long time, they've been hard at work. Now, I was actually very lucky. I'd been buying Rune literally the last few weeks, so when I saw it pump up like this, I did sell off. I thought I might as well, because I do think the price will come back down, and I think it will come down very soon. I think this is one of those sort of big pumps up, and then a bit of time up, and then down. And this is the daily chart here, so you can see after, let's just check how many days this roughly is. Roughly 50 days, it crashes back down to lower levels, So yeah, maybe we spend a bit of time floating around up here, maybe we don't. Again, this is good news, but as we know with XRP and all these other stuff, good news only lasts so long. There's always going to be bad news waiting, bear alert here, but there's always going to be bad news ready to take away the glory from the good news. But, looking at the bullish again, before we get into our fibs, we can see that, from sort of taking out this bearish sort of resistance line. So that's very nice. So good job for Rune, I suppose. Again, it's just good news at the moment. If we pull up our fibs, we can see that from the beginning of this year, I'll just pull up this fib before I go on. We can see that from the beginning of this year, fib is up. Not fib, Rune is up, excuse me. Rune is up above its yearly open, which is good, but of course this is only because of its most recent rally. And we can see it's taken out sort of this yellow very clearly, and it's pushed up to the, it's currently sitting bang on at 0.5 level. Again, for those of you that don't know, that sounds arrogant, but 0.5 isn't a real Fibonacci level, I'm pretty sure. It's just added in most to make things a bit easier. And also half is a very common and a nice number to have, but I don't think it's an official one, and I don't usually actually look at it. But it's easier for these videos. And it's fine. It doesn't really, it's good. But we can see it's actually sitting bang on at the 0.5. I think This is great, obviously, for Rune here. It's been good for me, but I do think now the price will come down pretty harshly. I don't know if it'll push above this level, to be honest with you. Now, again, this is all sort of speculation. With coins like this, anything can happen. I think Rune could push up to this, get rejected here, off this line. You know, this is going to be a very strong resistance. It could crumble right back down and find support here or here. We just don't know. There's a lot going on with Rune right now. I mean, if you even remove this fib and go from, say, if the chart will load, if we go from, say, we'll be nice and choose the lowest. If we just straight up go from here, you know, this shows us that we've still got huge resistance for Rune, you know, before it makes any sort of huge movement. Now, that's not to say it can make a big move and stay at that level. I mean, down here, this is a big move when you're looking at it from close up. But again, if you zoom out, it's a very small move, really. And we've seen moves like this before, and they ultimately end lower. See it again, end lower, end lower, and end lower. Now, we are getting sort of crunch time, to be fair. I think this is where in the next few months we start to see a bit of revival in the altcoin space anyway. And I think Bitcoin will slowly start to lose its dominance. But again, it's a very sort of, if you want me, I wouldn't be able to tell you what the price will be tomorrow, sort of thing. It could be up to 170, it could be down to 90 cents. Nobody can really say for sure. But I think I can imagine us staying between this sort of 130 line and 110 line. In fact, I can see us staying between the 120 and the 130. That would be sort of where I stay. But I think we'll spend a little bit of time above that. I think in a week we'll be oscillating between 130 and 120 would be my rational prediction, from just what I've seen from hundreds of other charts when they have big pumps like this. They usually collapse if they're meme coins or based on nothing pumps, like Elon Musk tweeting, or if they sort of have a reason to pump because it's a good development. They can still go right back down and put in new lows, but they can also sort of stay at a higher level they can oscillate at, basically. Like XRP has with this news. I mean, it's pumped up and it's stayed at around 60 cent, just below. And yeah, it's taken a few knocks and it's slowly gone down, but that's probably looking like it will happen the same with Rune, to be honest with you, like it has here, where even it climbed a little bit here before it ultimately went back down for about 2 months, give or take. We could see that with Rune, and we are kind of seeing that with XRP at the moment. XRP had huge, brilliant news, pumped, and has currently stayed at half of what it pumped to. Now, if Rune is going to follow that philosophy, it got to 140, so we might see it drop down to $1 sort of thing. You know, it's very difficult, especially when you start comparing them to other coins over other good news, similar events, because there's just so many examples of different things happening. If we pull up our moving average, it's always a useful one. We can see Rune has broken above the moving average. Now, we are in a bear market, and naturally, usually when you break above the daily moving average, you don't spend long up there. If we change to, say, the weekly, I'd say we'll probably be above it. I haven't seen it myself. Okay, apparently the moving average just... Okay. Brilliant. Let's not change to the weekly. If we go to the hourly, we'll give a very close-up sort of price view of what might happen. I'm very sorry for this delay, by the way. I don't know what's happening. Yep, okay, here it is. We can see we've rocketed above the Bollinger Bands even. So this is way above the 2 standard deviations. And usually when you see this, it's either the Bollinger Band climbs very quickly to meet the price, or the price drops very harshly to meet the Bollinger Band. Now we're at 138. It's definitely possible that Rune drops to 128, because it was here earlier today, to meet this sort of Bollinger Band. And we even saw here, we had a little drop down, and we saw here, tiny little corrections that spiked, rocketed up. I see this happening to meet this Bollinger Band. And as you can see, each time it meets this Bollinger Band, and then it actually finds support off it. So whether we find support again, I don't know. This is becoming a very harsh Bollinger Band, and soon it's going to be completely unsustainable. And I would argue it is unsustainable already. So we could see a sort of, this Bollinger Band could become resistance if we drop down below it like we have here before. So yeah, that about wraps it up, guys. Hope you found the video useful anyway. If you didn't, tell me what I can do better. If you did, tell me what you liked. Where do you think Rune's going? Is it going high? Is it going lower? Is it going to stay here forever? I don't know. You tell me. Thanks very much, guys. Take care and peace.